Yes, Mephi. Me and Roxanne will do anything our white rabbits want. What? Brown rabbits. Low pony? Low pony? Ah! Oh yeah. That. Well, here we are. Hold on, I don't think the past is ready for a sexy, robotic wolf. Mars, I'm going to need a spare dress if you can. Can you send one back around 100 years? That would be great. Thank you, my commander. And now we are dressed for the occasion. Well, only if you have the data from Diamond and Pearl. Same with Darkrai. Gotta lock that shit behind $60 DLC after all. Wait. I see typing. Hold that thought. We'll come back round to that. For now, we're gonna go back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass.
Rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear.
Wow, Spyro! Taking shots at needing the $60 game to get a piece of clothing that is totally optional. And then also using the AVGN intro. Biased much? Why yes. Yes I am. For this starting section, you have one job. One single job. This is your biggest game of all time. This is the thing that you have been hyping up for months. The thing that is going to save Pokemon, so to speak. And no mistakes can be made, which we'll get into later. But right now we are talking about the interviews from Ilka saying like, oh, you know, they forced us to not have the platinum content. We had to fight for every single piece of platinum content. And you basically stole money from your own franchises to make this thing as big as it could be. No mistakes can be made during its initial launch process because you want this shit to be fire. A week, -1, and the game has leaked. Here it is on Twitch with loads of people playing it, like this person. It's no secret. This has happened every single time for the past 4 years. It happened with Sun and Moon, it happened with Ultra Sun and Moon, it happened with Sword and Shield, and it happened last year, not even last year, last fucking month with Diamond and Pearl, and to a lesser extent it happened with Let's Go. You would think, especially how big this game is, that they would learn their lesson, but no. Whatever factory they use to turn their master copy into all the retail slave copies is clearly just a Starbucks, and the Starbucks has free Wi-Fi that is unsecured. And so, as always, our local dark web resident Mr. X comes in, orders his classic Venti Mocha extra chocolate sprinkles, sits down and downloads the master copy on his Apple iBook, and then just walks right the fuck out the front door. And a week before, here it is on Twitch, spammed with that shit. And we once again played the game as, yes, I sailed the seas and I have acquired Arceus early. So, yes, I have played it. Yes, I have got to the thing in the background there. And, yes, despite its flaws that we will get into, I will be getting it legitimately in a few days, as it is okay, but we'll get into that. Oh boy, it started. Blame's missing this. Hello, Flick. How are you doing? So, also, just a fun aside here, I am typing this script from a ranked match of Sea of Thieves because the team wants to 3-man because Arena is where all them Season 2 Toxic Reaper boys went. I mean, they're not going to win, but if you can hold that 3rd place for me while I'm in the brig, which they did, well, that's all I need for them 3rd place commendations. And I can work on this script while you just go and kill things. Oh, yeah. Got a bit of water there, lads. You got a lot of water there, lads. You might want to fix that. Imagine if they had somebody to help them repair that ship. Anyway, on to Big Dear Daddy. Not that one. So, where do we start? I guess with the thing that we've all seen and we all knew was coming. How about we do the graphics? You know, because that's the bad news. You know, it's better to get the bad news out the way first. Yeah? Is that what you want? You want the bad news first? Okay, let's do the bad news first. It looks like shit. I mean, we have all the shit that we've seen from the trailers. And, you know, it never looked the best in the trailers, but as you go through the game, as you watch like streams on Twitch, as you play it for yourself, my god, it looks bad, like really fucking bad in a lot of places. Not all, but a lot of places. To start off with, let's dive into the easy shit that, as much as we wanted it, was never going to change. The models and the stuff around the characters. It's all the sword and shield garbage. First off, the reused animations. Oh, moving your hand up and down there to talk. Hello there, How. I mean Hop. I mean new person. Like, with sword, and especially diamond, and especially for your player character, they did the worst thing, and this is the thing that gets me the most. This is the thing that fucks me off the most. As, look, we knew there was going to be reused models. We knew that there was going to be a bit of garbage, but with the player model, they've done like the thing that I really didn't want them to do, and they did the thing. And why did you do the thing? And that is all they did was stick the eyes and the mouth on a second layer with 2 expressions of deep loot and shock, and most of the time it's deep loot. So while others have energetic, enigmatic conversations about events and big revelations and the whole thing about that mountain over there behind Spyro who's recording these lines, you're just standing there with this deep look on your face, staring blankly into the void. Just, ooh, look into the void for all eternity. You want immersion breaking? This is immersion. This is it. Like later on, when we get into the gameplay, you will get a Hisuian Sneasel, which will allow you to scale cliffs, and that's cool. That's really cool. Like the way it looks, the way it moves, it's cool. And you're like, when you get it, as you can hear from my voice when I got it, when you get it, that's cool. And you're like, oh yeah, you're playing as the Pokemon itself. Like you feel as if you've transformed into the Pokemon, and you're playing as the Pokemon itself, and your character should be like Ratchet or Scalar, getting the egg, being like, yeah, baby! But all we get is this deploy emote. Blink, motherfucker! Blink! Then, when we have, you know, returned, and we get the big revelation about the Lord Pokemon, and it's like, oh, you know, shocked face, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Everybody else in the room, like, you know, the actual characters, the characters that have real character, like, you know, the Diamond and Pearl guy, this guy and this girl, and all of the members of Team Galactic or past Team Galactic, like Mars's mom. Damn, you're just as good as your daughter. You're just as good as your daughter. But when you get, like, all the real characters, like Diamond and Pearl Man, and Mars's mom, and Cyrus's mom, and they're, like, all reacting to these events, you want to join in on that. You're like, yes, I agree, this is a big revelation. And then you look at your character, and he's just standing there with this deploy. Plant. What the fuck are you doing? Emote, you fucking shit player character. Why the fuck are you standing? You've just been given, like, the phone of God. God himself has give you his phone. Like, don't you think that's a bit of a big deal? Don't you think you should be reacting, you stupid bastard? But no, he doesn't. He just stands there with that expression on his face, and it's like, what the fuck? Then we have the return of the high quality animations. Oh, start of a new round and thrown in the brig instantly. Thank you, team. Love you. Just hold that third place for us, babe. And what do I mean by the high quality animations? We get sword and shield levels of animations. That is to say, no animations, such as the Abra teleport scene. To give Rule 63 some personality, we pulled Anime Misty from the hat, where even the smallest bug of Caterpie, or in this case the Wurmple, makes her freak the fuck out. This freak out leading her to command her Abra to teleport it away. I mean, I'm fucking speechless. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? So much like the Yamper used Thundershock on the door, Abra used Teleport translates to, despite our overblown budget, we are too fucking lazy to add a quick glow effect to the Wurmple to make it fade out and teleport. So, despite our overblown budget, all we're going to do is fade out to black. Just cut to the black screen. Cut to the scene altogether. What's that, Vappy? What's that? What's that, Vappy? The rotation in place like Zacian? Oh my fucking Arceus! And it gets worse. As we go into the world, all the ground and rock textures have been sanded down to 270p. Nah, that's too generous. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. What the fuck is that? That's too generous. It's more like 180p. Like, what is this valley? Look at this shit. What the fuck is this shit? The trees are back. The legend himself. The celebrity. The tree. The trees are back. Are you serious? And this would not be so bad. But because it's all so low res, it makes the new crafting items, like these crystals, stand out like a sore thumb. let's compare crystals. These versus Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, they match the rock texture. You know, like the rock colour and the mountain face is the same texture. It's the same colour. And then they integrate the crystals into the rock. They only stick out a bit, so it looks more natural. Whereas these fuckers, look at them. They are just a copy-paste asset flung haphazardly into this 180p rock texture with no artistic cohesion. This one's not even attached to the ground. It's just floating there. What a... Ow. It hurts. It hurts. You took so much money from Unite and Diamond and Pearl and everything else to make this, and it looks like this. What are you fucking doing? It hurts. Graphics wise, it's a goddamn embarrassment that it looks this bad. And I would not harp on this again. I would not harp on this so much, except where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, shithead? In the interviews with Ilka and insiders that have remained anonymous, it has been stated that they had to fight for everything to make Diamond and Pearl remakes as good as it is. And considering its bare minimum, and it is as buggy as this, where you can just walk through the map into the void and just go fucking pick up Shaman, and that's as good as it can be, considering like you stole money from Diamond and Pearl, and Diamond and Pearl is as good as it can be, which is the bare minimum. And Ilka have had to go on record stating that they wanted the distortion world, they wanted all the platinum content, and Masuda and Ishihara and the Pokemon Company in general said no, and they had to fight just to get a platinum fucking screenshot in the PC.
Just look at how sideways platinum-themed elements were implemented in BDSP, only making their way in full via Pokemon box designs, DLC outfits, one room included in the game, and post-game team setups. Ilka seems to have fought to include anything platinum they could, but could only get so far. Next, we see Ilka is restricted to the old Pokemon models and their lack of animation during battle, even though Pokemon Legends uses updated models and updated animations. Now, looking at how half of the content in these concept arts were ripped from BDSP's final product and stuffed in Pokemon Legends, leads to a logical conclusion that Ilka was stripped of their vision solely for the purpose of making 2 games instead of 1.
Where's the money? You took the money. You stopped them from making all the platinum content because it was too much of a budget. Because you stole the budget and put it into this. Where's the fucking money if it looks like this? And then we get to the things like the flying around on the bird. You know, in their concept art book, in their interviews. Oh, look at you flying around on that Staraptor there. That's pretty good, that is. Wait a minute. That's not in fucking Diamond and Pearl. Where's that gone? Masuda said don't do that. Masuda said you can't do that, but I'm gonna steal that for Arceus, which Ilka was not happy about. And when they confronted CEO Lucifer himself, sorry, I mean Ishihara, it is very hard to disassociate the two, he said, I see your point, but I'm not going to do anything because Arceus is the big seller and it's going to be the big better thing, so I'm going to let Masuda have that and you get to eat shit. It's no secret that so much money and assets have been siphoned into Arceus. So if we are throwing this much at everyone's favourite Dear Daddy, then where the fuck has the money gone? Why the fuck does it look like this? Why the fuck are we still doing the lazy sword and shield shit? Like, just cut to black and skip the animations. Where's the money, Lebowski? Fucking embarrassment. However, as we know, better graphics don't make a better game. It can look like shit if the rest is good. It's just a point of contention that not only are they the largest media franchise in the world, but they also stole money and resources from their other projects to make this happen. But okay, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that so much went into everything else and it's so good that the graphics were sacrificed. So the music. Okay, you're making a good case. The music is the best it has ever been, coming close to something like Gale of Darkness with the Mirror B theme and mystery dungeon levels of good, while battle music is just a slight variation of the classic but now very generic and monotonous. And that can get very old very fast. The rest of the music is on point. The Nighttime Canyon alone. Perfection. Using the instruments to match the area and the time of day. Using lighter sounding instruments to mimic the twinkling of stars, and the slower paced instruments to invoke that feeling of it's a nice relaxing walk underneath a star-struck sky. While there are no clean rips of the music right now, as the game's not even out yet, so there's going to be some sound effects. I'm going to shut up for a minute, just take a listen. Lovely. And every area has this level of quality in the musical department. So well done. We are seeing where the money is starting to go to. We're seeing that money starting to shine through. And that's great. But of course, while an important part, music is the smallest part. And where we are really going to have to judge the expenditure and stolen resources is the big bit, the gameplay itself. Now, before we dive in into the gameplay, let me just go over the controls very briefly. Let me take a drink first, chat. They're also great and work well, as it is tied to the new mechanics, which we're going to get more into in the gameplay, so we'll go more in detail there. But just a general overview, it feels fluid. Things like a dodge roll, as your trainer can dodge roll now. Things like the dodge roll for dodging hostile attacks, flying around on the bird, and so on. It has no stiffness. It feels nice. It flows well. So again, well done. I can't say money went into it, as, you know, for the most part, it is still just like most Pokemon games, even the bad ones like Sword and Shield, is just moving around, and it's really hard to fuck up moving around. Like, you have to be pretty inept to fuck up the moving around, and even in Sword and Shield, which was a complete disaster, you didn't fuck up the moving around. So, like that, here, they didn't fuck up the moving around. It's always felt nice, and it still feels nice. But it's nice to see that anything new, like that dodge roll and the climbing of the walls, still has a nice level of fluidity. And the basic movement we have come to expect still works. But the big one. It's time for the big thing. The gameplay. The thing that matters most. We are going to have to split this into two parts. Gameplay loop and the long-term play, as one is far better than the other. In terms of the gameplay loop itself, and I say loop as while it is a story mode, this game wants to structure itself a la Monster Hunter, where there is going to be a loop that's after the story mode is complete. That loop is going to carry on to a long-term gameplay style. So like, while there is a story, after the story you'll want to keep grinding the monsters to get better armor, to get better monsters, to get better armor. Like Monster Hunter. It is pretty much Monster Hunter. Excuse me. So while there is technically a end / two ends of the story and completing the Pokedex, there's a third end which is like a 100% type thing, and that's like the Monster Hunter long-term gameplay, which we'll keep separate for now. So we'll get into the long-term gameplay in a bit, but for now we're just going to focus on the new thing that is the gameplay loop. So like its monster hunting counterpart, this new gameplay style is split into 4/5 phases: exploration, resource gathering, crafting, and battling, and sometimes advancing story, but not always. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down section by section. Exploration. This is by far the best part. Aside from the battling, while it sometimes does not look the best, like really does not look the best, and the world is not fully interconnected a la Breath of the Wild as people would have hoped, the areas we have are still very well designed and have a good amount of Pokemon and resources to find, and restricted areas encourage replay, as in these areas you will see new areas which you can't get to until you get to a new ability. That comes in the form of the Lord Pokemon. We will get into the Lord Pokemon later during the battling. But it's like this, for example. So you are on the beach. Let's use the beach. And you're like, oh, there's a lot of Pokemon. There's a lot of resources here. Oh, but what's that island over there? I think I see some... Do I? I'm squinting. I think I see something on it, but I'm not sure. Maybe there is. But you can't swim. But you can definitely see they're making a point to show you that island. But later on, you fight the Basque Legion, you get the fish can surf, and now you can surf to the island. Even though you don't get the fish in that area, you get him in a later area, you remember the island. So you now come back to this area, and you can surf to that island, and you can find new Pokemon, new resources, and that is like a great way of getting the new area is going to have the rarer resources for crafting the better stuff, as like all of the stuff around the shores is enough to craft the basic stuff like the Pokeballs, potions, which is good for starting out, but by the time you get like your new power and you return to this area, then you're going to want to have your Pokemon are going to be stronger overall, but you're going to want to be able to have stuff to capture stronger Pokemon, so the stuff that you couldn't get because you didn't have the power is naturally better and will be used to make the rarer things like the Great Balls and the Hyper Potions. So it is a really good way of encouraging like replaying the areas via Monster Hunter, as like, you know, Metroid or a game like that. As you get the new powers, it makes you want to go back to that previous area so that you can open up this new part of that area. So it has a nice sense of progression. So let's cover, while the Lords will be covered in battles, let's cover the Lords just a little bit, as they are like basically the powers. So early on there is like a couple of Lords that you get. Where did it fuck up there? Early on there are a couple of Lords you get, but they're like nothing big. You know, you get the Stantler that allows you to run faster, but each Lord controls a power, especially, and each of these powers fits in really nicely with who they are, especially the Sneeze, as it's what Breath of the Wild should have been. A quick aside, when we first got him, I actually thought you just outright transformed into a Pokemon, as you get a flash of light, but unlike the Stantler where you're riding on top of it, or the Bravery where you're on a glider underneath it, you're nowhere to be seen. You're just walking around as a Pokemon. Then I realized that your item box got big enough to the point where you as the person are an item and you fit in the bag, and you're pulling a Nebby. See the eyes inside the little box poking out? Slim Cognito style right there. And while I know it would be nice to just like think you outright transformed into the Sneasel, as it's cool to be walking around, I know Skrainer, which is one of my friends who is a Sneasel, his Pokesona is a Sneasel, when he sees this, like when like he sees that flash of light, and like me, he's not going to realise that you go into the box and he's going to think you transform into a Sneasel. He's going to just have an outright orgasm, as, you know, again, here's a picture of him. He's always been an Anthro Sneasel, so this is basically that. And from now on, this Sneasel is just going to be called Skrainer. That's what he's called now. But like, as much as it is going to be fun to imagine you just outright transformed into Skrainer, nah, you are in that little box. But you gotta believe! But anyway, Skrainer climbs shit forever. He is used to scale cliffs to find rarer resources on top of ledges, and to some extent escape the shadow Pokemon. They're not shadow Pokemon, but again, we'll get into them in the battling. But yeah, he's used to scale ledges and sometimes escape shadow Pokemon. And he can just climb forever. No stamina, Breath of the Wild. And it's fun. It's really fun. So in terms of crafting your untamed, undeveloped version of Sinnoh, where you will have to utilize these Lord Pokemon like Skrainar to like scale cliffs and swim across oceans to reach new islands, you did an exceptionally good job, especially with the final level of Mount Cornet. After all, like Sunshine's Corona Mountain that towers over you the entire adventure, like everything leads up to the scaling of Mount Cornet, or you know, in Sunshine's case, Corona Mountain. Like everything around Sunshine, everything around your adventure leads up to you scaling Corona Mountain to fight Bowser. And here it's the same kind of thing. As you assemble the Lords of the Land and you get all of these powers, everything leads up to Mount Cornet. It's always there in the center of the map, towering over you. No matter what area you're in, you will always see it the whole game, and everything leads to Mount Cornet. And when you're scaling that mountain as Skrainar, when you are climbing as the Sneasel, and the music's building as you're getting higher and higher, reaching the summit of the Mountain of the Gods. Yes. In terms of exploration, in terms of like, again, would it have been nice to have it as a full open world like Breath of the Wild? Yeah. But if we have to settle for Monster Hunter and like a level by level, area by area structure, I'm still fine with that. Because in terms of like the areas you've crafted and how well you have integrated the Lord Pokemon and their powers and how you use their powers into the areas, especially Mount Cornet, it's fucking good. And like, how can you can't go back from that. Like, there's no way you can go back from that in Gen 9. Like, given how open and vast the areas are, and just how well you integrated, like, the Lord Pokemon. Like, I get you might not be able to do Lord Pokemon. You might just have to bring HMs back, but then you'd have a HM slave again. So I don't know, but, like, in terms of just taking the concept of the wild area and saying it's the entire game, and you can do all of these climbing the cliffs with the Sneasel and shit, going back to this, going back to like these linear corridors for routes and the 8 gyms, you can't. I don't see how it's possible to go back after this. I don't think I can go back after this. Because to go from like what is essentially a well-designed area that's well thought out and integrates the Lords and their powers in a good way, again, especially Mount Cornet, to this, I can't do it. I can't go back. You cannot go back after this. But we'll get back to that point of not being able to go back. For now, let's keep the gameplay loop going in terms of resource gathering and crafting. We already touched on how this works a bit in the exploration. As you explore, you will find these resources which are used to craft everything, like potions and Pokeballs. This was the part I was most worried about, as in any mining and crafting game, you need to strike this perfect balance of resources found to resources spent to accruing more of that same resource. Take Minecraft, for example. Our basic end goal, not including the nether or the end, our basic end goal is diamonds. diamonds are found at level 13 to level 7. So we have an area of where to look. And it takes 3 diamonds to make the pickaxe first. And you're probably going to burn through quite a lot of iron pickaxes. You know, like maybe 5 or 6 iron pickaxes before you find your first set of diamonds, because you're going to burn them to get down to that level. And let's say you were unlucky and you only found a clump of 4 diamonds, but that's enough to make a diamond pickaxe. On average, given how long your new diamond pickaxe lasts, plus the 1 extra diamond you found can be used to repair it, now with that diamond pickaxe you will probably find about 20-ish diamonds, minus the 3 for the pickaxe. You are left with 17, and that's around what you would want to achieve. You would want to achieve a small amount of resources, which would then allow you to get about times 4 to times 5 the amount to keep your resource pool constantly built. And given that this is the first time Pokemon's ever tried anything like this, I was pretty fucking terrified that they would fuck it up. And like, oh no, they're gonna give us like 1 fucking diamond and they're gonna take it away, and then we're gonna have to find iron just to get that 1 diamond back. But that's not the case. They have like distributed the resources at a generous rate. I can't say that some of them are generous, like some of the rare ones, like, no, some of the rare ones are a bit dickish. But so you finished the game, Spyro. First of all, welcome, new person. I have finished the game to a point. So I have climbed Mount Cornet. I don't want to spoil for if you haven't seen it, but that thing right there above Mount Cornet, that is the end game, and I have seen that. I do know what that is, and I stopped there because I want the entire chat to be with me for that final reaction. So in terms of the story, which we are going to get to, I don't know if you've played the game or not, so I'm trying to keep it as spoiler free as possible. I have a question. How do you think the people that are saying the game is too easy when they have multiple Pokemon jump into a random encounter? So yeah, sorry YouTube, and maybe I'll leave it in. Maybe I'll leave some of that in for like the review, because it's kind of like it done live on stream and I'm answering questions as well. But we'll see. But just in case, I'll say, yeah, sorry YouTube, we were answering a Twitch question about difficulty. Now, the crafting itself is nice and simple. You open the menu, see what item you want, and you craft. And as a bonus, Animal Crossing, you're listening, Animal Crossing, you can craft in bulk. So if I need 10 Pokeballs, I can make 10 right there. Not 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Animal Crossing. Why can't I craft in bulk? Animal Crossing. And of course, all these crafted items will help you in the final part, which is our gameplay loop. That is the catching and battling. This is where the game truly excels and shows that next evolution to the formula, mixing concepts of the traditional catching and battling with the Safari Zone from Red, Blue and Yellow, with a sprinkle of the Isle of Armor of all things. First, catching. The catching now works much more like the Safari Zone mixed with the wild area from Pokemon Sword. At least in the normal battles. There are 3 types, being the Alphas and the Lords, but we'll get into them in a minute. For now, the normal Pokemon are no longer restricted to the tall grass. They are all walking around in the world, which is good as it makes the world feel more alive. But in these areas, your trainer now has the ability to sneak, reducing the Pokemon's awareness to you, with the tall grass now being used to further reduce that visibility and detection rate to the Pokemon, which allows you to get as close as possible, as the closer you are, the less chance you have to miss when going for the catch, with catches from the back having a greater chance of succeeding, as the Pokemon do not see the ball coming. With Pokemon following certain rules, like when it comes to balls, for example, like rock Pokemon have a better chance of being caught when you use the heavy ball, like this one here, and so on. And of course, levels factor in, so stronger Pokemon that have a higher level are less likely to get caught in this manner. However, these things can be influenced via a mechanic from Let's Go or the mobile game of Pokemon Go in the form of berries, which is basically the bait from the Safari Zone. Throwing a berry at a Pokemon will lure it towards the berry, and it will also lower its guard even further, as well as increasing its catch chance. So as with this Nosepass that we've got, we are throwing the berry is now giving off a scent, and then we are getting behind the Nosepass, so we not only have 0 detection, because it can't see us because we're behind it, but also the added bonus of the back throw, because it's not going to see the Pokeball coming, and that extra berry lowering its guard and its defense even further. However, if it still breaks out after that, it will instantly lock you into a standard battle where it is, the turn-based thing, type weaknesses and so on. At which point you will have to lower it into the red to attempt to catch it over and over again. It just turns into a standard Pokemon battle. But all of the new stuff, the stuff before the standard battle, the sneaking around the back, the tall grass to reduce the visibility, all that new stuff adds that extra layer. It works really well, especially with this new open world that you've created. I love this style of gameplay. It really adds that much needed extra layer to what has been, as of recent, quite a stale formula. As does the 2 other Pokemon, the 2 extra parts of the battling as well. As around the world you will see what we at first thought were shadow Pokemon, that being bigger Pokemon with glowing red eyes. They are not shadow Pokemon. It turns out these are alpha Pokemon, stupidly strong versions of their normal counterparts. They are bigger, tankier, hit like a truck, most of the time just one-shotting your Pokemon. They are stupidly OP. But in here lies extra mechanics. First off, all of them, in theory, can be alpha Pokemon. So, in theory, it's possible to get a alpha Vappy, who is the best Pokemon as scientifically proven by scientists that do actual science. Where's my alpha Vaporeon? Where is my alpha Vappy Pokemon? That is my one mission when we get the game legitimately. My one and only goal is to find an alpha version of Master Vappy. I need him. I need him. But, that aside, herein lies the 2 extra parts of the battling. The 2 extra parts that excel the formula. We've already excelled the formula with how we are sneaking around and throwing the Pokeballs. And now in the battle, we're going to excel it further. So, the Alpha Pokemon. Herein lies the extra mechanics. First of all, in theory as well, yes, it's possible to outright catch an Alpha Pokemon. But even with the berry, the back shot, the grass to reduce the visibility, and the correct ball of like a heavy ball, the chances are very low. So once it sees you, it's gonna see you. And unlike regular Pokemon, Alpha Pokemon do not give two fucks and will outright attack you, the trainer, just firing barrages of stuff at you. And this is in the first mechanic. Your trainer can now take damage, and you have to use the dodge roll to avoid the attacks, as if an Alpha or Lord Pokemon hits you too many times, it's mission over. You will black out, indicated by these black ink light. I just got it. I just get it. You will black out because it's black ink. Clever. But you will black out, the screen will turn black, and you will be sent back to the base camp and progress will be lost. So you need to be very careful around these stronger Pokemon. And this also carries over into the battles themselves, as when you are battling these stronger Pokemon, they will be doing devastating area of effect attacks that do have a blast radius, and if your trainer is in that blast radius, you can take damage, and if you take too much damage, then it's game over. So if you look at this battle right here, you see we are standing here with our Typhlosion, and it is about to do an attack that is going to do a blast radius. So we're just going to move our trainer over there, because over there is not going to get us killed. Extra layer of strategy. It's something small, but it's something you do have to pay attention to. Most of the time you'll be fighting normal Pokemon, it won't matter. You're not gonna get killed by a bubble beam. It's fucking bubbles. But when you're fighting these things, most of the time you will be out of the way. But if you're stupid, if you're not paying attention, it will catch you off guard and you will get hit. But then, now that we're battling these Alpha Pokemon that can one-shot our Pokemon, we get into the next level of the combat. The thing that really takes Arceus to the next level that I want in all the other Pokemon games. Like how I said you can't go back with the whole world thing. You can't go back after this battle system. So there is now fighting styles. So I've got to take another drink. We have been talking for like an hour non-stop. Just give me a second. But there are now battle styles, taken from the idea of Haydox in the Isle of Armor. Look at him, he's just a grumpy little bear, where you can either ascend the Tower of Darkness for strong style, or ascend the Tower of Water for rapid style. In the base town, you can buy more powerful versions of your moves in the form of scrolls, and this allows you to choose between what kind of style your attack is going to be. And you get 3 styles. You get the Agile style, its regular default style, and the Strong style. So if you choose the Strong style, you are going to hit very hard. You are going to hit with the power of an Alpha Pokemon, but at the cost of turn speed. So while you hit very hard, if the opponent does survive, then it's going to get a guaranteed 2 attacks, maybe even 3 attacks in before you get to attack again. If it's still standing, of course, as Strong Style is meant to be used as that one-hit kill guarantee. Then you've got the default style. It's just the regular normal attack with its normal speed and normal power. And then you've got the agile style, being weaker than the default style, but of course, because you're trading away that power, it gains a ridiculous amount of speed, so you may be able to attack 2, maybe even 3 times before the opponent can hit you once. And these really come into play when fighting Alpha and Lord Pokemon. Like normal Pokemon, you can most likely strong style one-shot everything. There is no reason not to use the strong style. Like, you might as well just use strong style on all the normal Pokemon unless you're trying to go for a catch. But the Alpha Pokemon and the Lords, you do have to think. Like, the aforementioned Sneasel is a Lord, and Sneasel is fast. You know, we're going to recap the Sneasel fight. Sneasel is fast. So it is predominantly going to be using Agile style, which means it's going to be going at you a lot. And it kind of works, Agile style kind of works like a multi-hit attack, like Pin Missile. So if your Pokemon's weak and it still has another turn in the turn order, you don't get to heal until it's your turn. So if it's attacked you twice and it's still got that third attack and you're weak, then too bad, that Pokemon's dead, because you don't get to heal until it is your turn in the turn order. But going to this Sneasel fight, Sneasel is skinny but quick. It is a glass cannon. It wants to use Agile style, boop, 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 boop. It wants to hit you rapidly and get in as much damage before it goes down. Now, you might think to yourself, well, if I use strong style, I could take out a lot of HP on that thing. Like, I could just, boom, there's already half of its HP gone, which technically could be a viable strategy, but it is a Lord. You have to remember, this is not like your average Pokemon. This is a Lord, so even Agile style, despite it being weaker, because it's a Lord Pokemon, it's still gonna hit like for pretty decent damage. So now you have to actually imply a layer of strategy where it's like, well, shit, if it's gonna hit me this much and I don't get a chance to heal, then I'm gonna have to use Agile style of my own just to keep up with this thing. Maybe default style if I want to sacrifice a little bit of speed and risk it, but like, this thing's fast and I need to keep up with that speed, or it's just gonna outspeed me and do more attacks than me and just demolish me. This is what Pokemon has needed for the longest time. A true evolution to the catching and battling, especially the battling, with the 3 styles to pick from and having to best choose what style to use depending on the Alpha or Lord Pokemon and how fast like the turn order will move and the turn style will move. It is a breath of fresh air and it is so creative, and I really would love to see how this fares in competitive battles, as you know, being the game's not out yet, there's no online functionality yet. I mean, I don't even know if Arceus is going to have online functionality. Some people have said that it's not, but like, first of all, I'm obviously playing this on PC, which by that I mean a totally legit copy on my Nintendo Switch, and it's definitely a review copy. Just, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I didn't get on a sloop. I'm not on a sloop going and digging up that buried treasure over there. But, you know, we don't even know if it's going to have trading. We don't know if it's going to have battling. But if it does, oh my god, I want to see how this would fare in a competitive setting. Because, like, you know, we already have people that Eevee and Ivy train their Pokemon. People that sit there and make these competitive teams like Wolfglick. And can you imagine if this was, like, allowed in competitive battling? Like, you know, let's take Wolfglick's team for example. You've got, like, his Kyogre, Raichu, Rain Dance, Thunder combo. Imagine if, like, he sets up the Rain Dance with Kyogre, switches into that Raichu for Thunder, but then he's going to do Strong Style Thunder. So, like, he's now going to hit all of the other Pokemon, not only with Strong Style that's going to do more damage, but the rain boosted Thunder. So we're taking, like, what is already a ×4 damage modifier to a ×6 damage modifier. He can, like, decimate teams with that. And then you've got to focus on making sure that the trainer is not in the blast radius, but then, like, the other competitive person that is challenging Wolfglick, what if he's using Agile Style? So while Wolfglick might have this plan to just obliterate a team with a Strong Style Rain Dance Thunder, if the opponent then decides to, like, switch into Agile Style so he can hit that Raichu 2 or 3 times before the Raichu can attack, then the other competitive player might have to take that into account and change tactic. This is, like, such... This battle style, this whole battle system has such potential to be a really good in-depth battle system that actually makes you think during, like, PvP matches. You know, the computer, like, PvE, the Lords are okay, but, like, a lot of the Pokemon, they are a little bit dumb. They are a little bit dumb, and Strong Style can get you through some of the fights. But, like, there's so much potential. Ugh. Sorry, it's 1:20 in the morning, and we've still got a ways to go. We're going to be doing this till 2 in the morning. But, like, there's so much potential for this battle style. There's so much potential for this, and, like, again, I can't go back. If you say to me Generation 9 and it doesn't have the switching styles, it's just back to the generic boring turn-based combat, I can't go back. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can. Again, this is what Pokemon has needed for the longest time. A true evolution to the battle system with these 3 styles. Like, it's such a breath of fresh air, and I want it to continue. I want it to continue in the other games, and because I'm already loving it in this game, and I want to see it taken to that competitive style. And I hope there's competitive in this game. I hope there's PvP, like, battles in this game. Like, again, the game's not out yet, so you're either a reviewer that just hasn't got anybody to play with, or you're sailing under the Reaper's mark and there's no online functionality because it's on PC. But, you know, if there is, please let this go to competitive. Please let this continue. I need to see this continue, because, oh, it's good. However, one thing I might say about competitive though is the alphas probably will have to be banned, because, you know, that, yeah, he just one shot like 2 of my Pokemon. You can't stand up against that. There's no way that you can stand up against that. I'm getting the hiccups, fuck. But yeah, there's no way you can stand up against that. So either like in online matches and competitive like world tournaments, while I want to see the in-depth mechanics, like the alphas will either have to be banned or they're gonna have their own tier. Like, you know, you got the featherweight normals and the heavyweight alphas, because as I say, they are bigger, stronger, tankier, and it would need its entirely own category to fight. Whoa, hold up, Pip-Boy, hold the fuck up. Scale, they're bigger, they're bigger, scaling. So this Scyther is normal, and this bigger is an alpha. So you can fucking scale. You can scale them to correct sizes. Then what the fuck is this shit? And this shit, what the fuck? This comes back to the graphics, but so you can scale. And this carries over into the battles. This carries over into the battles. So you can scale Pokemon. You can make it look like Battle Revolution, where the whale is the right size. And you can have more than one size. Man, it really shows just how much they did not give a shit about Sword and Shield and Diamond and Pearl. Like, this alone is like, oh no, we could scale them. We could scale them all along. Look, here it is to prove it. Then why didn't you scale them in Sword and Shield? Oh, because we were siphoning money for this. So, like, we could scale them in Sword, but that would have cost extra money and time, and we were putting it into this. Okay, I guess. But, you know, you could have said that before you pissed everybody off with, like, the sizes in Sword and Shield. But moving on. Well, you know, I joked in the graphics section, where's the money, Lebowski? It's here. It's all here. Here's where the money is. The money is here. All the collecting, the way that the areas are designed, the way that you've implemented the Lord Pokemon to encourage going back to the areas, this new battle system with the 3 different styles. Here, all of the money is, here is where the money is, and where the money has gone, and I love it. I love it. This is what the series has needed for the longest time. And of course, you have now put yourself in a catch-22, as with how good all these mechanics are, how good the exploration is, using Scrainer to scale to new heights for even more exploration, the Safari Zone style sneaking and catching, the 3 styles, the Alpha Pokemon, the Lord Pokemon, all this great revolutionary additions to the formula. That is what we wanted, and now you can't go back. After playing Arceus and seeing all of this and how well it was implemented and how fun it is to go back to these areas with the new powers to find new secrets. You physically can't go back. Like, if you say to me, Gen 9 Pokemon Rum and Pokemon Gin.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
And you say, ooh, it's back to classic 8 gyms. Basic combat, linear routes like Sword and Shield. No. Just... no. No one is going to buy that shit. Well, I mean, a few people would. But it would create backlash, as after this, people are expecting... well, I mean, some people haven't played it yet, but like when you do, when most people get the legitimate copy, like, if you try and go back to Sword and Shield, there'll be backlash, as after people play this, people will be expecting Arceus levels of world exploration and gameplay, which I am too. I'm expecting that too. And if you show me Pokemon Rum next year and it's back to this, I'll be like, nah, fuck that. But Spyro, look, he's got a male Salazzle. It's got a male version of Salazzle. Okay. Well, you know what? I can just look up a picture of the male Salazzle, like we are right now, just for the point of this argument. I can just look at a picture of the male Salazzle on the desktop, on Google, without having to spend $60 to look at him in game. I guess the better alternative is that the standard generation things, like, this would be the best way to do it, I guess, that the standard generation things are more side games now, and they're like, hey, you know, we're gonna give Generation 9, we're gonna give the generation games a little bit of less money, like they're gonna get a little less money, and they're gonna be about on the level of Pokemon Sword. Like, it's gonna have its problems, and it's gonna have the low textures and reused models, but that's okay, because we are keeping those as a side game, and any money that Pokemon Rum makes is going to be put into the bigger main series game of Legends Reshiram, which will be even more polished, even more refined than Arceus. If you tell me that, then yeah, I'll be okay with that. If you want to make like Gen 9 and the main games just like side content, and the money is used to fuel like Legends Reshiram, Legends Lugia, then yeah, I'll be fine with that. But if you just come out to me and say, nah, Arceus was a one and done thing, and Gen 9 is like still the main gen, and it's back to all that shit, I'm just... No, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that. So, last two things, the Lord Pokemon and the story, and then we're out of here. So, the Lord Pokemon, while we have been over the Alpha Pokemon and how stupidly powerful they are, Lord Pokemon work differently. They cannot be used in battle. They are basically big end of stage bosses that come in two flavors of fuck this shit, I'm out, and you are such a good trainer, you have earned my power. They basically function as end of chapter bosses where they have been enveloped in a heavenly golden light Arceus' golden ring and are pissed for reasons. Like, we'll get into... Now, you know what? No, because that's a spoiler. I'm probably not going to put that in the story section. But they are pissed for reasons. And you need to calm them down. Luckily, you don't need to craft the bag to throw at them. When seeing the trailer, I was worried about the bag situation. Like, how many of these bags are we going to need? How much materials are each one of these bags going to cost? How rare are the materials? As if the bags are made out of canvas. Well, we know how rare canvas is, as to this day, there are still many that have never received the canvas bag. But it's okay though, because they did get the 500 atoms for the lightwood laminate. But no, they are a prerequisite. The bags are made during your normal missions, so like you just fill in your prerequisite missions, and then when you reach the end of the chapter, you are given an infinite amount of these bags as to not make the boss unwinnable. So you can't soft lock yourself. So thank you on that for not soft locking me. And these Lord Pokemon work much like the Raid Pokemon within Pokemon Sword, and I kind of hate it, as each one of these sections is a shield. Throwing the bags lowers the shield, and once a section is broken, you go into the battle phase. But like Raid Pokemon, you can't end the fight then and there, as even if you're fighting, say, Scyther, and you're using an Ice-type move in strong style, so you are turning that ×2 damage into ×4 damage, it still has a damage threshold. So even if it should be a one-hit kill, like Raid battles, it caps the damage at a point before regenerating its shield. Repeat the process. Here is the fight with an electrode sped up. Do you see how tedious this is? Just throw bags, fight, throw bags, fight. It makes them a little tedious, honestly. I think they could have been done better. Like, yeah, like the alphas, you still have to dodge. So, you know, in the Lord Pokemon, like the alphas, you still have to dodge roll. Like, your trainer is not immune, but the fact that you just have to spam canvas till you win, you could have done this better. But it's still a good way of unlocking the HMs, as while not all of the Lords are usable, like the Electrode. What the fuck is this heavenly form? It's just a fucking emote. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Oh, Pokemon. You're making it really hard sometimes. Like, I'm trying. Dude, I'm sitting up till like 2 in the morning with 2 hours of constant talking. My throat's like shot. And you're throwing fucking the Emoji Movie at me. Like, come on now. I know he can't do much for an Electrode, but come on now, fuck. I really need to go to bed. Like, you know, the second I finish this review, I'm crashing the fuck out. But yeah. Some, however, like Scrainer, are Mega Man style of, oh, You have proven your worthiness to divine Arceus, so now you can use my HM power. As at the end of the day, that's what the Lord Pokemon are. Basculegion is just surf. Braviary is just fly. Scrainer is just rock climb. However, to me, this is the best way to do it. I much prefer the HMs locked behind an end of chapter boss that we have to beat and earn said power, rather than the typical we just got it by doing some random task. Like the original strength, I think it was, or cut. Ah, yes. You have rubbed the captain's back and have now obtained the power to cut things. Ah, you have found the old man's golden teeth. You now have the power to push rocks. Taking the Alola concept of attaching the power to a Pokemon like the Charizard using Fly, but then capitalizing on that by turning them into a boss fight where the power is earned, is a far better way than just some random dude giving it to you for doing some random task. It makes the player feel good that they earned the item, and as a reward they get to see the new area from the boss power they just got. It's why the Mega Man style of gameplay works so well and is used in so many games, in terms of either Mega Man or the newer Hollow Knight. I killed X boss and gained its power. Mega Man is more straightforward. A fireman gives fire cannon, but Hollow Knight is like, I beat the crystal boss and thus I got the crystal dash, as it fits the boss and the area. So Pokemon taking this style and locking the HMs to the bosses that you can command and use their power. Damn. That shit good. Perfect. More better than how it was by doing some random thing. And like the first time I got that, the first time like I beat the Lord Pokemon, my mind immediately jumped to Rayman 1, where you fight the mosquito flying around, and it's like, oh, that's okay, it was a cool boss fight. And then the game is like, oh no, but now you are friends, and you get to ride the mosquito and gain its flight. Wow. And while that was only one section, this is for the entire game. You can summon and command them at your leisure. You can summon Scrainer whenever you want, and I love this way. I love this approach because, again, the HMs feel earned. They feel earned rather than doing some random task. So, in future, keep doing this. No more random tasks. Having like your map opening powers locked to some random guy's golden teeth. Please, going forward in future, attach it to the boss Pokemon, as this feels so much better. But last, as this review is long enough, the story, which the entire story is a spoiler, so it's kind of hard to talk about like the Lord Pokemon glowing in a heavenly gold, the Arceus phone, the beginning where Arceus is like, find all the Pokemon to find me again. Like, you can't move for this thing. Like, you know, I know I'm using all the pieces of video, but that thing up at the back of Mount Cornet there, like, you can't move for spoilers. Being this is a day one review, most people won't want to hear any of that, so I'll try and be as vague as possible. But you wake up and, you know, boy, girl, hair colour, eye colour, that sort of thing. And like all of the games, today is your big day. You're old enough to join Team Galactic to help establish the Hisuian region, which at first, you know, with no extra knowledge, or with the extra knowledge, is quite funny. Knowing that if this was the future, you're working for the villains. Not that I mind, as the best girl Mars is my commander and is the best Pokemon human girl. I mean, you know, at least when it comes to the humans. Pokemon, you've got competition there, like Master Vappy, who is the best Pokemon, as scientifically proven by scientists that do actual science. But in terms of Pokegirls, you're the best, with Misty coming in a close second. What about Cynthia or Thickwick or Mummy Lucamine? And look, and her mother beast born with the jellyfish. Look, okay, listen. I know the world of YouTube is gonna say you're wrong, this is the best. But we're not here to do a tier list. If you want me to do a tier list, like, okay, look, here you go. Oh shit, broke my model because I spun too quickly. But if you look over here and be like, this is S tier, you can't even do that. But if you look up there, it's like, oh, this is S tier, this is A tier. We can make video on that. But like, all you need to know, in terms of Pokegirls, like, if your waifu is not Mars, then your waifu is trash. Well, unless it's Mars's mom, who is also here in the past. And, you know, she is also an acceptable answer, as it's Mars combined with Mommy Lucamine. A motherly Mars. We are reaching new levels of degeneracy right here. Anyway, after you simp for the best red-headed commander and her mom, you join Team Galactic and get your old-fashioned grunt suit and Darkrai. Well, if you own a copy of Diamond and Pearl, or just go into the ROM and tick a box to say that you do. As, like locking Mew to the $50 ball that they said would be compatible for many games to come, and never was, it was just a $50 paywall to get Mew, bastards. We are doing the same thing again. The costume is one thing, however it's really dumb, and I bring it up because if you want to go with this whole Team Galactic founded the Hisuian region theme, would it not make sense to allow the player to have said galactic outfit to make them feel like a part of the team and a founder of the region? But no, the suit is one thing, but Darkrai is another. It's Mew all over again. Pay the $60 for Diamond or fuck you. And it's really funny, as when Diamond was broken on day one and people found their way to Shaman, everyone's like, man, where's Darkrai? I see the Darkrai house, but no Darkrai. When are they adding the Darkrai event? That's cute. That's cute. Sorry to break it to you, but the Darkrai event is never coming. Nor is the Arceus event. Pay $60 for Diamond, and then another $60 for this. Or no go. You can't just simply buy one game and get all the content. Lucifer's gotta sneak some shit in there to make sure that you're buying all versions. Anyway, you get your grunt outfit after 1 hour of tutorials! Fuck! Yep. As per standard in the Pokemon games, once we report to everyone's new Rule 63 girl and leader of past Galactic Cyrene, this is literally just Rule 36. She says, go prove your worth, so you have to do an hour of tutorials where it's like, okay, so because you're new here in the past, this is how you catch a Pokemon. You can sneak up on it, and then you're gonna throw a berry, and then when it's looking at the berry and eating the berry, you sneak around the berry. Shut! I know. I play Pokemon Go. Do you guys not have phones? Model's breaking because I'm angry. Do you guys not have phones? I have a phone. I have one. I played Let's Go. I played Pokemon Go. I know how to throw a berry. Please, let me out. But we prove our worth. So after an entire fucking hour of tutorials and proving our worth, we get the grunt outfit, and Cyrene is like, good job, you are now assigned to the research corps, and it is your job to go out there and research all of the Pokemon in the world and like find out the mysterious reason of this mysterious phone that you got, which is the God phone, which you find, because like that happens, and like it's really funny because again you get the phone and you've just got that face, that blank fucking stare into the void face, but it's like you're out on your first mission and there is, and we find it. Taking it back, it's like, I've never seen such advanced technology. It's clearly something. It's the Sheikah Slate. It's the Sheikah Slate. It's clearly a blatant rip-off of the Sheikah Slate. We already have seen it in action in the trailers, and like with everything we're doing, like when we summon Skrainar, when it turns into a box with Arceus' ring on it, so that Skrainar can carry us up the cliffs. So like, how the Sheikah Slate can summon the Master Cycle, it can summon the Lord Pokemon to help you. It tracks progress, it has maps, it fucking takes pictures. It's the Sheikah Slate. No. Wait. It's a phone.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys.
That can summon the Lord Pokemon. Like, it's a phone. You ring them up and they come over. Oh my god. Oh my god. Little insane. We've had it. It's been here all along. It's been here. It's been here all this time. It's been right here, under our very noses, for the past 20 years. Pokemon Jade, where you call the Pokemon on your phone so they can help you advance in the world. And Arceus is Telefang. But then who created Arceus? Arceus is God. Did Arceus create Telefang? Telefang was out before Arceus. Did Telefang create Arceus? Is Arceus a Telefang? Did we created an alternate universe? Is it a Xenoblade or a Deltarune situation where the world was split in two and there are two Arceus, like two Gastas outside of time and space? Is this Telefang or is this a Telefang? What's going on? Is the capstan on the sloop is not centered? But if the Telefang is Arceus, then how did he know to create the phone to make the Pokemon into Telefang? Ah, 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 ah.
Spyro? Spyro, wake up. Spyro, snap out of it. Come on, my grunt, get it together.
Mars. I just had the craziest dream. The god of all Pokemon give me a cell phone and created an alternate reality 20 years before this reality was even created.
No, that was no dream. It happened, but just finish the review already.
Oh, fuck. So yeah, that's a wild ride. And while the capstan on the sloop is not centered, while the capstan on the sloop is not centered, we have it. And yeah, it's a magical MacGuffin where it's like what it is. How did it get here? How is it so advanced? And like any generic chosen one plot, because you found it, you get to keep it. Why is the model fucking up? I think I fucked up because I was like taking the piss with Telefang. There we go. I think let me realign it. Let me realign it. Is it realigned? There you go. Oh fuck. So yeah, but because you're the chosen one, because you found it, you get to keep it. And you know, the story, you keep it for the story, and the story has a very Xenoblade 2 style of story. Damn, just copying everyone's homework, weren't you, Pokemon? But like Xenoblade 2 has a compelling fucking reason, and like this, it also has a compelling reason. As like you continue the story, you meet new people, you unlock the new areas. They always talk about Mount Cornet in the center. You know, look at it in the background there, just towering over everything. So you just have this thing constantly talked about in the center, and that no one has ever reached the peak. Unlike Xenoblade 2, with everyone saying about the World Tree and how Rex is like that no one's ever climbed to the top of Elysium, and I want to be the one that climbs to the top of Elysium, and we will. The same kind of nice parallel is here, where everybody talks about the big World Tree, the big thing that nobody's ever done, and like it's all building up, and it's like we're gonna climb to Elysium. And it offers another nice parallel to its future counterpart. Much like in Diamond, or I should be more specific and say Platinum, much like in Platinum, everybody remembers one thing: Cynthia, and to be more precise, her Garchomp. I don't know about the remake, but at least in the original DS Platinum, Cynthia's Garchomp is perfect 6 IV Garchomp, and it has gained its reputation of being the strongest boss Pokemon in the franchise, with Jaden Animations doing a fantastic job at animating him and the power and fear he exerts. And your entire journey through Gen 4 is all just a build up to the fight against Garchomp. Everything else, the gym badges, Team Galactic, saving the world from Giratina, while all great story moments, throughout the game, throughout them story moments, Cynthia is there, always letting you know she is the final boss, and everything you're doing is leading up to her and her unstoppable monster of a Garchomp. And like that, here it's the same. Every story moment, even if not directly connected, is all leading to Mount Cornet. In every area, you see it looming over the landscape, stretching into the heavens. In a few scenes, it's name dropped, and like Elysium in Xenoblade 2 or Corona Mountain in Sunshine, everything leads up to Mount Cornet and its ascent. And my God, I will not spoil the ascent, but the fucking ascent is epic. And then we come to the end where we get all the reveals. First off, the staging. See, with Elysium and Corona Mountain, it was always a mystery. We never knew what was there, and it's a whole new world. So when we reach the top and we see the area, we get one of two reactions. Either excitement with Corona Mountain, as it's epic, or it's as epic as you've imagined, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna fight Bowser, or shock, as you never expected what was at the top of Elysium to be there. You know, you're climbing, and you're like, this something doesn't feel right. This is the Xenoblade 2 experience. It's like, something doesn't feel right. You know, you're now like in the branches and the leaves of the world tree, and you're like, this doesn't look right. Something's off. And then you get to the door, like the final door, and you open it, and you're like, what is this? And you can't recreate that, because again, it's a new world and you didn't know what was behind this door. But here we know it's the spear pillar. While everything is built, at least in this moment in the past, you know, everything has a little bit of a different look, like with these ruins here. So we can take some artistic liberties so that it's just not the spear pillar. Like, as you're climbing the mountain, there are little extra things up there, you know, with this hole right here. Well, that's something you don't see every day. And it's nice to see that they didn't just like cop out and say, oh, it's just a spear pillar. Like, they added some extra stuff, and then like you approach the final mission, and it is upon the summit where we will get all the answers, which is where I switched off the game. I know how good, I don't know how good or how bad the ending is, because while I was worried about the game with the trailers, and like across the course of the early part of this game, I was worried that it wouldn't like be that special thing everybody was hoping, which some parts aren't. You know, it's definitely not like a 9 out of 10 that outlets are saying. You know, lower your expectations a bit. I don't score things, but like in terms of their scores, it's not a 9 or a 10. It's more like a 7. Lower it down a bit. But like, you know, while I was worried about what this game was gonna give me, the one thing that I said going into it was I did not want to spoil all the big twists and reveals. I want my stream chat to be there so we can all see it together. So, yeah, sorry for the anticlimax, but I spoiled most of it for myself for this review, and I do want to have a genuine reaction when we enter that final door on the summit. I do want to have like a genuine moment when we actually confront the final room. Like, I got all the way to the final door, but I want everybody to come through that final door with me. I want everybody to be there when we go through that final door. So the final verdict. Overall, Arceus is great. It's exactly what Pokemon has needed. It's been stagnating for a while now. You know what, I think I need to turn this a bit, but yeah, it's been stagnating for a while now. The graphics, not the best. The graphics are fucking abysmal. And some of the animations are reused or just non-existent, which is a fucking embarrassment. The money and resources siphoned from other projects and fueled into this one, for the most part, has paid off. I'm getting the hiccups a bit. With a better musical score, but more importantly, a better overall gameplay style, with the vaster open areas filled with Pokemon, the new Safari Zone style of sneaking and throwing berries for that early capture, the styles, the strong style and the agile style to mix up the combat and making sure that your trainer's not in the blast radius, so like you got to make sure that you're not taking that damage. Everything to make it more engaging. The new Pokemon themselves, okay, I'm gonna have to move this. The new Pokemon themselves, like the Alphas and the Lords, again the Alphas adding that extra layer of challenge, the Lords being like this perfect way of unlocking the HMs where it's like you beat the boss, you earned their power, like, oh, everything is just, it just works. It's just good. And after so much monotony of the recent mainline games, after just so much trash, okay, what the fuck is going on with the model? This is what I think. It's because we've been recording for like literally 2 hours and it can't take it anymore. Like the footage is getting full, so it can't take it anymore. That's fine, we're doing the review now anyway. But yeah, but like after the monotony of all the recent mainline games like Sword and Shield and Diamond and Pearl, with their less than stellar quality, the mundane battle system where you just have to pick a damaging move and, you know, just mash X to win and you fucking will. The fact that they force like the affection system to give you Game Shark Pokemon to make it even easier, and then just like on top of all of this, the harmful, predatory trash of Pokemon Unite created by CCP advocate Tencent with gambling for kids. We all really needed a breath of fresh air and hope that Arceus was that breath of fresh air. And while it does have problems like the graphics, some of its story beats and maybe the 100% grind for like getting all the Pokemon to get Arceus, overall, main point, the gameplay hits every nail it needs to hit. It has really revitalized the series, and I can see many falling in love with it. Maybe even saying that it is their best Pokemon game, their favorite Pokemon game, like Ruby and Sapphire or Diamond and Pearl. Even on its first reveal, all them moons ago, my friend Alexander the Raven, or as some know him, James, who is a very casual gamer, he's more into movies and comics. Like, if I'm the AVGN about them video games, it's just fully gone. No, we're back. But if I'm like the AVGN all about them, you know, video games, then he is my nostalgia critic. You ask him about any kind of movie, any kind of comic, he is like, boom, he is in there. But like, in terms of gaming, he is like casual, Fortnite gamer. Fortnite's one of the only multiplayer games he plays. So, like, you know, even when casual Fortnite gamer first saw Arceus all them moons ago, he said to me, "You seen Arceus?" Yep. You know, I have not really give a shit about Pokemon in a long time. And, you know, I'm just going to leave this one up to see what the fuck's going on with it, because, like, it is really just, like, giving in. I think we're out of space on the hard drive because I've got so much footage for Arceus. But, like, yeah, he said, "Have you seen Arceus?" And I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "Look, I've not been into Pokemon, but, like, when I saw that, it looked like the world as I imagined it as a kid. Like, I can't wait for it to come out." Which is true, as back when we saw our 8-bit to 16-bit sprites, we are looking at a world through a lens. In reality, we're looking like a top-down perspective, which is in reality a full 3D world, but with enough left vague, the imagination filled in them gaps. Sword came close, but with things like the wild area, but then it kind of fell slightly flat with the, you know, all of the problems it had. Well, this one, where they went full wild area and all of the sneaking and Savari Zone stuff, this is like it. This is it. This is the one. And as I say, I don't think you can go back. I just do not see a way that you can go back from this. There's no way. Like, again, if you say, like, oh, well, the main series games like Gen 9 are just side series games, and, like, they're still going to be Sword and Shield quality, which is, like, not the best. Well, then the money's used to fuel Legends Reshiram, Legends Rayquaza, Legends fucking Mewtwo, Legends Lugia. Then, like, yeah, okay, I can deal with the main generation games being shit. But, like, if you say that Arceus is a one and done thing, that's it, there's no more Legend games, and Gen 9 is going to go back to, like, the linear corridors, the 8 gyms, and the generic battle system, you're going to get laughed out the room. People are going to be like, what the fuck? No! You can't just go back from this. There's no going back from this. You just can't. Again, like, if you're going to have a spin-off game to fuel another Legends game, fine, but, like, if you say this is one and done, no, you can't. No, you can't go back from this. You have made, like, such an engaging combat system and a fun world to explore that you can't just, like, throw it away. You can't just say this is one and done. You've put yourself in a catch-22 where, like, it's got so many good ideas. Again, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's got so many good ideas that, like, you can't just say, fuck it, that's enough, we're going back to the normal shit. No, you can't go back. At least for me personally, I can't go back. Like, even when Generation 9 comes out, like, if Generation 9 is like Arceus, then yeah, sure, I'll get Generation 9. But if Generation 9... Fuck me, come on, just work. We're nearly at the end, come on, stop fucking up. But yeah, like, if Generation 9 is like Arceus, great. But if Generation 9 is just, like, the normal shit, then I probably won't buy it. I'll probably just be like... I'll just look at the Pokemon online. I'll just look at, like, the Gen 9 starters online, because, like, it would be a step down. And after playing this, I can't take that step down. I can't go back to, like, you know, the games that I've got, like Sword and Shield, I could play Sword and Shield because I already have it. But, like, a new game, I can't go back. I literally could not go back. You've made a combat system that actually engaged me. You made a world that I actually wanted to explore, rather than those fucking linear corridors and the player mashing X a lot. So, like, I can't go back. Like, you made something too good, and I just can't. So, yeah, like, final takeaway, it's good. It's really good. Like, I recommend getting it. I think, like, anybody that's a fan of Pokemon is really gonna, like, love all of the revitalized mechanics, is really gonna like all of the new mechanics, like the dodge roll and the exploration of the worlds, and, like, using the Lord Pokemon as, like, the better way of doing HMs. Like, any fan of Pokemon is really, really going to enjoy this. But, like, I don't know how people will react to Gen 9. Because I think so many people are going to like this that they're going to be like, dude, I can't go back either. Well, unless you're a little dog boy. He's just a very salty boy that wants to go against the grain. Woof woof. Anyway, that's it. That's the review. So, yeah, that was a long one. But we've pretty much done it on time. Because, you know, we had early access, even if it was from the high seas. But we are going to be playing it on stream tomorrow. I don't know if full playthrough will go up on YouTube. But, like, definitely on stream we're going to get to Mount Cornet. Maybe I'll, like, just make some highlights. Like, if we do have it on YouTube, it won't be, like, full playthrough. It'll just be like, oh, look, here's the story. Here's some highlights with minimal editing. Because I've already got enough Let's Plays on the go. Like Suikoden 2 and Security Breach and Lost in Random and that other one, Inscription. Like, we got too much shit. So, like, I'm not going to say I won't upload some highlights, but it's not going to be like a full edited thing like Suikoden. It'll just be like, oh, look at these highlights. They were fun. But there's going to be nothing after that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the review. I hope you all are going to enjoy the game. Have fun with the game. I'm going to obviously go finish editing this. We've been editing it live on stream. Which, speaking of which, if you want to watch stuff like the actual review get edited live on stream, or the actual Arceus stream, seems we will be streaming it tomorrow, then there are links down below to the Twitch where you can come see this stuff get done live. Twitter, so you know when I'm going live. Public Discord, so you can come talk to me while I'm doing the editing, like Flick. I think Flick might still be in voice chat, but my headphones have been on the floor while I've been recording the script. And a link to the Patreon, where you can support me further if you choose to. Like the Patreons of this month. Deddy, Dark Blue Fire, and Flick, which thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. It really helps me out, and yeah. So thank you all for watching. And the model is just like, this is just gone to shit. So I'll see all of you in the next video, which won't be 2 hours long and put strain on like all of this. So yeah, see you all in a bit. Not you Twitch. That's just the end of the. That's just the end of the recording. But yeah, you stay here, Twitch. We're going to do editing.